swing, 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 swing. Good boy. Good. Hi, it's Tracy and Herman, and we are continuing working on the in-hand journey. We've been working on the Piaffe. Previously, I was letting the Piaffe travel forward in a more of a passage trot because Herman tends to get a little bit stuck, and when we're on the spot he becomes a little bit too under himself, and then we lose all the rhythm, and he really struggles when he kind of makes it too difficult for himself. So it's a little bit like Goldilocks, too hot, too cold. We're trying to find that perfect balance, that perfect spot in the middle. So it's a progression, and so let's see what you think of where we're at now. Come on then, Herms, good boy. Good man. Focus. Good. Good boy. On spot. And forwards. On spot. Forwards. Good boy. So in my previous film, I was facing the wrong way. So I'm facing the horse now, which makes a lot of sense. We'll try for one more. It's a very hot day today, so I don't really want to do too much. I'm really pleased with his progress. Good boy! Oh, that's the first time I feel like he kind of worked it out then. Good. Oh, good boy. Have a breather. Let's see if we can get that again. So yeah, it just feels like I can either have passage or we get completely stuck and the legs are just stuck. But that felt like a tiny little bit of improvement just then. So we'll try again. Ready? Good. Come on, Bubs. Yep. And swing, 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 swing. Shoulder forward. My fault, sorry. And I'm going to leave that there. That was such good progress. Good boy. Good boy. So what I really liked was he kept the hind legs trotting instead of just getting stuck like this, and then we get this sort of like, So I feel like we're making progress, but please tell me, Jenku, what you think. Thank you.
Good morning, Tracy. Fascinating stuff. I love it. It is so nice to see where you're at with Herman. And yes, there's so many nice little things. And I think that's really now where it becomes much harder to spot. What is it that you've done differently that is making him improve like this? So it's so nice that you show the previous videos and then you show where you are at now. So lovely. There's one part where he was actually in front of the mirrors on the long side, and one could really see how his legs are doing this. And at some stage he got a little bit wider behind and he rocked his weight onto his hind quarter really nicely, and you just worked on getting two nice steps where he was wider behind and a nice squat. So I call it a squat. The sheep on the shoebox is ultimately, if you think about going to the gym and weightlifting, you have to have a good solid stance, a proper squat, in order to really do things symmetrically. So if you stood with your feet together, if you are in the gym trying to lift a weight up above your head like this, your body is going to want to do this. So it was really nice that you marked that one. So very, very happy that you said to him, no, it's not good enough. Pressure is feedback in the beginning when he was narrow behind, and then when he got a little bit wider, you were very quick to spot that moment when he went wider behind and he got into a better stance, and then that's where the good stuff happens. And if you mark that behavior again and again and again. Through repetition, you'll start seeing as like that he's going to go, I don't get rewarded for this. This gets me this. I get pressure feedback when I do this. But the moment I go and I actually get a little bit wider behind, that's where she keeps marking it. And eventually you'll see that he will consistently offer that all the time. Then another interesting thing that you did was you asked him to come back and on the spot and then out. So what is very nice, the last video clip, I really enjoyed that. I could see, and I'm sure watching the video, when you watch it again, you'll see that the quality was definitely better. So as you do it again and again, where you go try, fail, learn, improve, repeat, definitely your eye-hand coordination is improving, your body posture is improving. As a result, you're giving more accurate and direct feedback. The invisible box is that much more clear. You're really able to shift his balance to his hindquarters. So initially, it looked as if he was piaffing with his legs up, down, like pistons. The two back legs were going up, down, but he didn't really step forward and underneath. So the hind leg didn't really swing forward towards the deepest part of the saddle where your weight will be, and really swinging and stepping, swing, step, swing, step. It was more up, down. So what was really nice about the last one where you said, I'm happy with that, this is where I think I'm going to stop. That's what was really nice for me to see how you started. And as you play with it again and again and again, every time you start with something, you see a marginal gain, you click, then you go again, make a marginal gain and you click. It's really interesting to see just over a matter of a few repetitions how the quality has improved. So in the last clip, he was really starting to shift his weight and his balance to his hindquarters, really sit down behind. And as a result, if they go into a good squat, they can then lift their torso up, and ultimately you sitting on top of his rib cage behind his shoulders. So he's actually lifting his torso, he's lifting at the moment only having to lift his own weight. But in time, when you're sitting on his back, once this has become a habit for him, he's going to be able to not only lift his own torso, but he's going to be lifting your weight as well as his own torso up. And when that happens, you'll see the front leg starting to come more up and more open. So it's very nice to see where you're at with him. And it's very nice to see how you're not changing things up every time. You keep doing the same thing, and fundamentally you're giving him the opportunity to improve his performance, and you are spotting those little marginal gains, and you now have a way of saying, yes, this is what I'm looking for. Stop, have a reward. But because you're able to mark that exact moment, you are giving direct and accurate feedback, and because there's no punishment, there's no fear of failure. He's not getting punished if he gets it wrong. He's just getting a little bit of pressure as feedback to say, no, this is not good enough. Try again. And ultimately, as you run the same cycle again and again, it's getting better and better and better just by repeating it. And once you have done this however many thousands of times, ultimately, every time we do a repetition, we're putting one more, let's say, piece of copper wire, laying one more piece of copper wire. So imagine that every time you do a correct repetition, that you're putting one extra strand of hair. Now, in the beginning, if there's only one strand of hair, if you put it under pressure and there's tension, it will break really easy. But if you add 2, 3, 4, and you keep doubling up, eventually there's 1,000, and then 2,000, then 4,000 strands of hair. It's virtually impossible to break 4,000 strands of hair. Now imagine with more practice, when you're up at 6 and 8 and 10 and 15,000 repetitions, how hard it will be to break that neurological pathway. So even then, when you go into a competition and there's added pressure and added tension, those neurological pathways are so thick, like 15,000 strands of hair, that even if you put it under pressure, it is so well established that you'll just keep doing it. And I think that's really what it's about, is to build up the correct repetitions, not just doing repetition for the sake of repetition and hoping that your horse will figure it out somehow. You now have a very accurate way of saying, yes, this is what I want. You also have a very accurate way of saying, no, this is not what I want. And at the same time, you are not building in fear of failure because you're not using pain as feedback. You're not punishing him when he gets it wrong. You're merely putting pressure on him when he gets it wrong, and then he still has an opportunity to improve his performance. So it's not as if we're making Herman feel like a failure. And for me, when I give verbal feedback, it's the exact same principle that I apply. So I trust that this is a useful answer. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. And keep up the good work, keep smiling, keep having fun, and I'm really looking forward to your next video.